I'm doing it extra because Mr. Talented doesn't have his yet. It's like extra clacking.
I appreciate it.
Gotcha.
Okay, this is for Mr. Talented. I'll do that.
Oh boy. Hola y bienvenidos a the Currently Unnamed Podcast. I'm not doing the whole thing in Spanish this time, sorry. Where we put the real and the tea in reality. You can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. I say something gay. And spoiler, we filmed another video right before this, and I had a drink. And guess what? I'm having another. Because it's Friday, and I don't have any plans tomorrow. So this is Press brand seltzer, not sponsored, but I wish we were. The flavor currently is pomegranate ginger. It's very good.
Lovely. I am Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. And I too have decided, because the first recording, I was being very good, very modest, drinking, cream soda drinks. But you know what? We got 2 recordings today. And I feel like I need to, shake it up a little bit. So I too decided. Exactly. I was going to say it, but I knew you had it filled up for somebody else, so I didn't say it. But I do feel like I need to let loose a little bit. And I'm drinking Jack Daniels. This flavor is Down Home Punch. It's delicious. I'm drinking it. We're not sponsored, but we could be.
I would gladly be sponsored by Jack Daniels any day of the week.
Period.
I've never tried those. Are they good?
They're delicious.
It's a variety pack, right?
Well, this is just this kind. But
okay, yeah.
It's delicious. I kind of like it. And if you put in some frozen strawberries and put ice on it and put it on ice with the frozen strawberry. Now, I like strawberries and pineapple. I know you can't eat pineapple, Logan, but strawberries on top and pineapples poured together.
I'll do lemon.
Lemon, that'll work too, but yes.
Please drink responsibly.
Please. I'm an adult.
But you don't look a day over 19, Lana.
Lies you tell, but I thank you.
Sorry, David, go ahead.
It's okay. I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. I do declare. Miss Blair St. Clair.
A lovely choice.
Yes, I love Blair. And I am drinking a 0 sugar root beer. And for all of the people out there that do not partake in alcohol, you're sober, whatever, you never drank like me, I'm repping for you.
Period. Hello, guys. It is me. It is I, Mr. Talented, your favorite guy. And today, as usual, as normal, we're drinking a generic bottle of water sponsored by Mother Let Loose, Miss Lucy the Doodah. Period. Because hydration is very, very, very important.
And I too have water.
Oh my God, you do.
always drink responsibly and have water.
One bottle for every drink, right?
Per. Exactly.
Well,
for
is,
me,
one glass
this is
for every
40
drink.
ounces.
Yeah,
so...
one glass for every drink, I guess.
Exactly.
Sure. But we're talking about Mexico.
Viva la Mexico.
Mexico.
Thrilled. First and foremost, thank you to everybody that watched the premiere video of our Drag Race Mexico coverage. And especially thank you to everyone who commented, because we asked for it and we wanted to know the tea, and y'all came through with the good tea for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There were a lot of comments, a lot of really long comments. So thank you. We did read all of them. So much insight, which was absolutely necessary.
Needed.
I think the big ones obviously were learning about Matraka's name being the instrument that she was carrying in the intro. Love it, love it, love it. Talking about Lady Kero's look and the mouche culture, which I completely spaced that was part of the discussion. And had I remembered that it was, I would have brought it up. But thank you for bringing that up in the comments. Talking about how Gala Varo's entrance look was a reference to her dissolved drag duo, and then the allegations that she stole money from her former duo.
That's ballsy. There's the nerve. There's the nerve.
We love petty.
And then the other big thing that I wanted to talk about was someone commented about Vermelha, saying that she is mostly a looks girl and doesn't really have a whole lot of experience with performance and being in clubs and things like that. Which, you know, given the 2 episodes now that we've seen of Vermelha, it makes sense. It's definitely not a bad thing by any means of the imagination, but that's kind of, it makes sense having that extra knowledge as well.
Yep.
So.
And I just want to quickly address, there were a couple of comments about Margaret Y Ya and explaining that, sure, she didn't have a positive display of her city, but nobody said it had to be. And you're absolutely right. And immediately, like, I felt a little bad about how hard I went on Margaret. Like, it was very brave of her to do that kind of look, and I think she should be commended for it. So props to her.
Props indeed, because who says we live in a city that we all love living in, and it's a great city. I mean, we might not agree with some things that happened, and so that she was able to talk about the gentrification that's going on in Mexico City, which we hear. We all have seen how gentrification affects cities and things of that nature. So yeah, I feel like nobody said it had to be positive. Exactly. I agree. And the fact that she decided to step out and say, hey, this is something I don't like, but I'm going to express how I don't like it. Ballsy.
Yep.
Ballsy indeed.
And I'll be honest.
The makeup was still bad, though.
Right. The makeup wasn't great. But I probably check, I'd probably check that YouTube video like at least a couple times a day, just because I kept wanting to see those comments. So anybody watching now, keep giving us comments. I live for it.
We live for these comments. Like, I promise you, we all listen and watch and read those comments after the show.
We're texting each other about the comments. Like,
literally texting each other. Like, did you see? I appreciate it. And learning is very important to us on this podcast, because we know we're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. We don't know all the cultural references about things. We'll put that out there on Jump Street. We don't know. And we don't know what we don't know. So that's where we need you guys to fill us in and tell us and help us out. So we'll continue to give you our opinions, and you can continue to tell us when we're wrong. Appreciate us when we're right.
Oh, yeah, somebody even said they changed their mind about the double Shantae
because of what Lana said.
Comment. So
yeah,
what about me? I also said,
but I'm more important.
Only reference Lana. So.
I said it with more passion than you did.
Fair, but I was very happy with the double Shantae.
True. But yeah, so we come back into the workroom. Nobody's gone home.
Yay.
Great. We move on to the next. I still think it would have been a gag to start a fucking franchise with a double sachet. I still think that would have just been the gag. But
I don't need gags all the time. I don't want to gag all the time. Sometimes I just want nice.
Yeah,
that's because you're a sassy queen. You are.
Me? Never. But yes, we walk back into the workroom the next day, and it's Gala giving some shade towards Miss Vallarta and Vermelha, being like, you both should have gone home. And I'm like, Gala, I agree.
I'm like, Gala, shut up. I was like, Gala, you're so petty. Like,
I love it though.
Yes,
I love the
absolutely.
petty, even if I didn't agree with it.
I didn't agree with it. I'm like, I love the petty, but I'm like, leave them alone. They're already kicking them when they down. Leave them alone.
I love the whole storyline that we're getting now through this episode too, because we get a lot of workroom stuff. Not a whole lot of it is honestly super like memorable or meaningful, but I do love this sort of like clique that's forming between Gala, Cristian, and Regina Voce.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Oh,
that.
they the petty crew. They so net. Ooh, they so petty, petty,
I forget
shady.
what they called themselves, but I was like, work. I love this.
They are super petty, super shady, and it's like, okay. They're
Oh, they're calling themselves
entertaining.
like the top girls or something, or at least that's how it was.
The main
touted.
girls or something, I think it
The
was.
main
something
girls,
like that.
yeah, I think
Main or
that's
top
it.
girl, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But we come into the workroom, and what we hoped would happen with the double hosting situation has come true. So we get Lolita in the video. Lolita walks in first, looking gorgeous as always. And then cuts to Valentina, and I did really like the way that they did this whole thing.
I think we're gonna get the back and forth throughout the season, which I love.
Absolutely. Our maxi challenge for the week is the Unconventional Materials Challenge. My favorite challenge. I've talked about it on our Project Runway reviews. Go check those out on the Cut TV. Ding. But truly my favorite challenge across Project Runway, across Drag Race, across like any shows that do unconventional things. I love it. I always love to see what these artists can do with materials that are not meant to be worn on the body. So sometimes it turns out very good, and sometimes you make a skirt out of balloons and it looks bad. We'll talk about it. But,
are you a main girl now? What?
I love Serena Morena. I'm making that very clear from the top of this episode. I adore her. I think she is lovely and wonderful and beautiful. We'll talk about her look later. But yeah, they run for these materials, and it is like you are telling them that it is the last deal on like a PS5. Like they are destroying this set, and honestly, I would too.
Yeah, as they
you want to get everything that you can because you don't know what you're going to use. I'll take everything. I would have grabbed the whole table.
For sure.
Give me that.
One thing I want to point out, and I won't delve too far into it yet, but I did hear the word couture quite a bit when the challenge was being explained. So let's make note of the word couture that they kept emphasizing, and we'll put that away for a little bit. We'll come back to
pack it away for a sec.
Because I will say as well, on the other side of that, all of the official descriptions of the episode, as far as like Paramount Plus and WoW Presents Plus are concerned, do not make mention of couture as a concept. But the challenge is issued as basically Quinceañera couture.
Couture.
So we'll put a pin in that. I want to ask the group, though, if you had first pick of any of the materials that were given, what would y'all have grabbed?
Not tinsel.
I would have grabbed all the tinsel.
I would have grabbed all the and I would have grabbed the tablecloth, and I would have grabbed I would have grabbed the balloons, but I would have popped the balloons.
I would have popped them, cut them in
half, and used them as something else. Right. I would have grabbed the balloon. And the cups weren't a bad idea either if you do it right. I would have grabbed all that.
Right, and the cups wrong.
I would grab all of that. I would grab just everything I can put my hands on. Oh, we did not talk about the cup. Merch.
Oh no, we didn't bring up merch below. Merch. It's always there. We don't have to always bring it up, but
yeah, we do. I kind of always have to.
Yep.
There.
It's in my contract to always bring it up.
What contract?
Baby, you didn't hear about my contract? I am.
Anyway, Mr. Townsend, what would you have grabbed?
Yeah, everything that you guys said, I feel like the tablecloth would have been a great idea. The cups, if you apply it correctly and glue it at the right spots and do what needs to be done with it, can be really cute and creative as well. So those would have been the top two things that I would have run for, definitely.
I honestly would have grabbed like as many balloons as Serena did. Yeah. Pop them, cut them in half, and just make some cute like applique ombre situation. Because there were enough in each of those. Like there were enough of the silver and the pink, and then I think there was like a white or a gold or something. Like I would have done like some ombre situation with like some applique, make it kind of like geometric. But I would have done honestly like an A-line dress. I think that's simple enough. there's enough detail if you do the applique stuff correctly. That's kind of the direction I maybe would have gone. And then maybe like a fascinator of some kind.
I mean, the A-line dress isn't really quinceañera though, because like you know, at quinceañera,
well, some people did an A-line dress for a quinceañera and they were safe. We'll talk about it.
I mean, that's what. Yeah, but
A-line, but like A-line, but more along the like silhouette and style of like the Dior new look. Like that's kind of the direction I'm thinking with A-line. But yeah, I also love that we're getting Valentina and Lolita pulling all of the girls over to talk, having some 2-on-2, except for Miss Vallarta.
And it felt to me like each pairing had somebody who is kind of a front runner and somebody who's not as much in the lead.
Kind of a little overlooked or underlooked.
I noticed that with each pairing, and then of course Miss Vallarta was by herself, which makes sense because
it's 11 people.
Well, and she's a seamstress, and everybody was like, "Oh, well, she's going to be good at it." And I'm expecting great things from Miss Vallarta at this point.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, the thing with
so we talked about the main girls situation. What other workroom things happened that are like noticeable?
Well, I remember there was a point where Miss Vallarta, I think, was like, maybe you're going to be in the bottom 2, Gala, as kind of karma. So I was starting to believe it. I was like, oh, is that what's going to happen?
I mean, because Gala was real shady, but was also like karma came around and got her real quickly humbled because the struggle was real for Gala. And I felt like coming into the workroom, of course, she was real like snarky and shady to Miss Vallarta and Vermelha, but like Vermelha. Like the first 5 minutes, like she didn't wait. She came in for the jugular, and it was like, right, you should be. Both of y'all should go home. It was like, but then as soon as the challenge was mentioned, it was like the karma just slapped her across the face because she had no idea what she was doing. And the other humbling thing is, you had to go back now to Miss Vallarta and ask for help after you just tried to shade her. Like, baby girl, karma was like, shut up. And you had to humble yourself. And I appreciated that. I'm like, I love seeing people get humbled.
I absolutely agree. I'm a little worried now for Gala in that regard because it's like, is she going to have this kind of reaction every time there's a challenge that's not in her skill set? Like, is she gonna get a comedy challenge and like just I don't know if she has comedic timing. I'm just using this as an example, but like if she's not someone that does comedy very often, are we gonna get a comedy challenge and she's gonna like freak out again? That's the kind of thing that worries me now. Is like I see her as a front runner for sure because I think she has a very strong understanding of herself and her aesthetic and what she can bring to the competition and to a performance. But is she more like some of those not as well-rounded queens that we see on the show? My number one example of that being Georges. Like, is it going to be the Georges effect? Is it going to be, I would say to an extent, like the Malaysia baby doll Fox effect? Like, is it going to be the first, like every time there's something outside of your wheelhouse, are you going to rise up to the occasion or are you going to crumble under it? That's kind of what I'm waiting to see with Gala and with a couple of these other girls actually.
Well, I've always been, since our cast has had Gala to Fierce Delicious, and we know Fierce Delicious really struggled when it came to a design challenge at the beginning of her season, and she still just had this endearing quality, and she may not have been the best at everything, but she really knew how to sell whatever she did do. And I'm getting that vibe from Gala. I think she's going to be able to really make things work, even if it's not in her wheelhouse.
I agree.
am too. I'm just worried now, based on the reaction of this episode.
I mean, I don't think I think she's gonna be one of those people who rise to the occasion to whatever happens, but it's the in between that, because she's gonna freak out, and I don't know how other people feel, but I'm like, if somebody's around me and they're freaking out over something, even if it's not me, even if I'm comfortable in what I'm doing, I'm kind of like concerned, and it takes away from what I'm doing to worry about what they're doing because they're freaking out. And I'm like, oh, calm down. You're bringing your energy to me. So I don't want her every week freaking out because of something that's outside of her wheelhouse to affect the whole workroom. If that makes sense.
Agreed.
But I do think she is going to be that girl that is going to have moments, because you can have your moments. You can have moments of freak out. You can have moments of doubt. And like, I'm not sure how this is going to work. But then in the end, you push through and it comes out either well or really good. And I think she's one of those girls. I think she's going to turn out perfectly fine in the end of freaking out. But she just has to know how to balance that and not make it about that every week. Like, you can't have that every week. You can't be that girl every week unless that's the story you want and the edits you want. And then when you come out, everybody could be like, oh, you the freak out girl. Like, in real life, you the freak out girl. You do that every week. But so, I don't know. But I still like Gala, though.
I like her too.
I still like her.
She's giving me a little bit of mistress in her shade, and I live for the shade. Yeah, how she just came in like, you should have went home. You should have went home. I'm like, mistress would have done something like that. Definitely.
Absolutely, yeah.
For sure. And look, a reference I know about. Ooh.
Yay!
Come on, reference.
Gala's in her mistress era.
All right.
Yes, she is.
Gala is in her Mistress Isabel Brooks era.
For sure.
We love to see it. Yeah, was there any other big
really.
workroom stuff? Because I don't really think there was.
I mean, everybody freaking out and people just trying to figure out. And I think the conversations that they had with Lolita and oh gosh, Valentina. I know this, y'all. I'm coming. I'm kidding. But Valentina, the one that stood out to me the most was Pixie and Vermelha, because I felt like that conversation was so authentic, and like, not that all the other conversations weren't authentic, but Pixie was just like, yeah, I know how good I can do this. I can sew. I can make an outfit, in anything. But I know this is my daughter, like my drag daughter, and we're family, and I want to help. And they're like, but is it going to be at a cost to you? And it's like, yeah, the struggle that in that moment felt so real to me, because I understood how you want to help people, but it's a competition and you can't always help your friends or your people who you want to protect. But like, she's like, I want to protect her because I want her to do well, but I know I can't do that and not focus on me and, like myself. I thought that conversation was the one that stood out to me. Everybody else kind of was like, right. That conversation just penetrated in my head.
And then I think in confessional, Pixie said, yeah, we're really going to have to succeed and fail on our own.
On our own basis, yep.
Which is pretty interesting, because another show we just watched, I think somebody else could take that to heart. For another international,
another foreign franchise, yeah, they had to learn the hard way.
That review will not be out at the time that this one drops, but check out our coverage of Drag Race France
on Sunday. Look, check us out on Sunday.
That part.
Period.
Should we just go to the looks then? Unless if you have another thought.
Yeah. No, I just want to say, never go on Drag Race and tell them what you're good at, because most of the times you're not going to be good at it.
No.
Most of the time they expect something from you and you don't deliver.
And you don't deliver. Yeah, we saw how that ended this episode.
But let's go to the looks, shall we?
Yeah, let's go to the looks.
I mean, that is the bulk of the challenge. The challenge is Quinceañera drag. Boom. First up,
Oh, I love that we get these looks. I do love that we get these looks at the end. That we get these pictures.
Thank you, Drag Race Mexico.
Thank you, Drag Race
Come
Mexico.
on, Drag
because
Race Mexico.
you make it so easy, and the pictures are so clearer.
Thank you for giving us a very clear image of this horrible look constructed by Serena Morena.
She tried.
She tried.
She tried. And
I will give her
honestly,
that.
this concept could have been so cool. It's just missing any sort of polish. I think if the bustier had been different, I think this like train idea maybe works a little bit better, and she's not in the bottom. But unfortunately, the bustier just looked cheap. She didn't do much with the balloons. Had the balloons been like more tied together or glued together, and it was all like in the back, and it was making like a longer train that didn't go all the way around, I think it would have been a more successful look. Unfortunately, she just looks like an octopus made out of balloons, and it's not going to be successful on this runway.
Yeah, I kind of agree with everything that you said. Has she done something a little bit better with the use of the balloons, it would have came across better and probably made her bustier, like her top part. If she had made that a little bit more extravagant, then I feel like the look would have came together well. But the concept itself is amazing. One of the better concepts on the runway, but it's just the execution that she needed to fix.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like she should have taken a couple of those balloons, popped them, and made the bustier from the balloons.
Exactly
It,
like I was saying earlier with like the
yeah,
applique situation. I
you
would have done
just
that here for sure.
you made the top the balloons as well, and then not had so many balloons on the bottom as a train. Like make the whole dress the balloons popped and make it around, and then add the other balloons as a train. It would have been a full balloon dress, a full balloon look, and then put some balloons in your hair or something. You should have just gave me all the way. Like I needed a balloon hat, something. It would have just
Put some hairspray on a balloon, make it hard as a rock, and just make it a fascinator.
right.
Mhm.
Just put it on there. It would have been great.
Where I'm going to give her props, though, is that she did try to drag this up. She wanted to do something that was big and noticeable. But where I'm going to give her pops is that it just did not look good. It did not work for me. And the colors just didn't quite go
Yeah.
well together. It was just
Yeah.
like a slight clash that was just really messing with my brain. So I was disappointed, but I was like, if you can survive this week, I think you might be good in future weeks for challenges that suit you better. So I was just hoping that she could somehow survive this mess.
We'll talk about it. Scores for Serena Morena, starting with Lana.
Oh no!
Why not?
Sure, why not? I will give this a respectable 50
Oh,
because it
See,
was respectable. I don't think it was horrible. It just needed some work, just a
Right.
little bit more.
yeah. I mean, with respect, I am going to give you a little bit of a lower score, and that is a 34.
Yes. I think this is gonna be the new thing. With respect, because I do love the concept. With respect, I'm gonna give her a respectable 35.
with all of my love in the universe, because I am just truly obsessed with this drag artist, I'm gonna give it a 20 because I think that's what it deserves. But
I don't think it was horrible. It just wasn't
It-
great.
Yeah,
There
it
are
was.
worse ones for me.
There was worse ones for me too. That's why I'm not like, go give it
oh,
the
trust my scores are not very high on this runway overall.
Yeah, there were
Mm,
worse
me neither.
ones. The judging, but
Oh, we'll
Mm.
talk about it.
yeah.
I have some problems with some things. But go ahead.
But not this one from Gala Varo.
I mean, it wasn't a mess either.
It's fine. It's fine.
Mm.
Mm,
With all due respect, you probably go get the same score because it's respectable, just not great.
I think this is what Miss Vallarta was trying to go for. And this is just the better version. I don't think this is great by any means of the imagination, but given the quality of this runway on a whole, this is safe, baby. This is safe for me.
Sure. It's okay.
Yeah,
I don't have much to say about it. It's all right.
yeah. The main thing for me is that it's not really reading as quinceañera, which is kind of, the
Mm.
point of it.
You
But
know.
I,
Supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Allegedly.
um, but I do like how it is constructed. I thought it looks nice. I love her hair. I love her makeup, and the
Mm.
garment. You don't like the
The
hair,
hair. I don't like the
the
hair.
hair.
I don't like the hair. Wait,
Okay, I
is it
can.
a way we can move
Yeah,
the
I was
logo? Because
wondering
I
that too.
can't see
Well, I don't
Yeah.
stuff
think we
with the
can move
logo.
the StreamYard, but
I don't pay enough to remove the StreamYard
No,
logo.
just the logo. That's all
oh,
I
there
needed
we
was the
go. There we
logo.
go.
That's all I
Okay.
needed was the logo move because I couldn't see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the hair at all. It's
Okay, I can.
as David said, it's too flat. It's not no
Yeah,
volume.
it
It's
is
giving
flat.
me nothing.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it is flat. But the garment itself is not bad. It's just not really quinceañera.
Mhm. So I gave my scores when I was watching the runway. Um, I think this picture looks okay. When I was watching it on the runway, I did not think it looked okay. And I'll be honest, it's my lowest score of the night. And
Mm,
part of it is because I really hated seeing this corset here. And then it
mm,
just kind of looked like a bunch of trash clumped around it.
mm.
I don't know how she made it look decent in this picture, but I do remember how kind of atrocious it was on the runway. Uh, so I will be keeping that in mind when I give my score.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, are we ready for scores? Did we give our thoughts?
Sure. I will give. I think I kind of like the balloon look better than I like this look. So I'm probably gonna give this a respectable 35.
Mm, yes. And with all the love and respect, I do love you, Gala. You're one of my favorites. I gave this a 28.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll give her a 15.
I'm gonna give her a 40.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's at least a little bit more fashionability
Mm,
to this look than a lot of the other.
mm-hmm.
But it's
Mm-hmm.
still 45. We'll say 45.
Okay.
Matraka Traka.
They asked for couture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just making sure. Just making
Mm-hmm.
sure I understood.
Mm-hmm.
I hate
I
this.
I can see it.
I hate this.
I
I
can
have
see it.
one major issue with this, and it's the cape feels unpurposeful. Like I don't, or not the cape, the train. I don't understand why there's a train on this look. It doesn't make sense for me. I don't like it. It literally brings down the back of her garment. And I think if she had just taken the train off, that's a cute quinceañera dress. And I would have been fine with it. The embellishments on the front, whatever. I think it's a well constructed garment. I just don't think it all comes together for me.
I think the look falls apart. It's just very disjointed. Like the train doesn't fit. The sash around the train is around the sash just doesn't go well with me. I don't hate the look. I'm not as passionate as Logan as I hate it. I'm just not like I'm not wild by it. I feel like the appliques on the front, like the two patches, didn't need to be there. I feel like if you take all that extra stuff off, the dress is a perfectly good quinceañera dress. Um, I just feel like it's a bit much. I do like the patch, the thing on the how the boob area is and the little details in that. I like that, and I like the ruffled bottom. I just don't think it needed all. I think she would have edited a little. Great, but her makeup is amazing. Makeup is great. I like the stuff around the eye. I like the way her eye is, and that's what I think is just disjointed from the itself. It's like it doesn't match. Like your makeup looks so great and the dress is too busy. It's just it's. But I love Matraka. Like
I love Matraka.
I love Matraka, and I feel like Matraka is going to give us amazing looks later on in the season. I just feel like this one was a little. It just needed a little editing.
And I will say as well, I read the hell out of this look. I still think she deservedly was safe.
For sure.
I do not think she deserved to be safe. I think she deserved to be in the top. For me, I was judging largely based on the wording couture. So I think this was one of the most couture looks of the night. Sure, it's a little busy. It's not perfect, but I liked what she did with it. You can tell that she is a seamstress and she knows how to make a garment. But yeah, for me this was the third best of the night, and it was a pretty clear top 3 for me.
I don't think couture is like this is a simple dress. It's not. There's nothing couture about it. It's couture is something that you would never see walking down. It's not something you see walking down the street.
I could never see this walking down the street.
I can definitely see this dress at somebody's wedding. You can see this dress at somebody's wedding. You can see this dress. The silhouette is just somebody's like it's a very popular silhouette. It's not anything that's unique or special about the silhouette.
It's top part,
baby. It's you will see a lot of these strapless gowns at a lot of proms or weddings, or this is a simple A-line dress.
It's more couture than most of them.
I mean, I ain't saying it's not more couture than agree. I'm just saying it's not couture. It's a simple A-line dress. It's with a ball gown, a bottom. It's not a unique silhouette for couture. But I understand why you say it's different from the looks on the runway, sure, compared to the runway, but couture, I don't think it's couture.
I don't think a single person
I don't think anybody served couture on this runway, honestly. Nobody.
Some hit that mark closer than the others that were very straightforward.
Agreed, but I still don't think anybody did. Mr. Talented, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like the 2 big pockets are unnecessary.
I like them.
My major issue with the train was that it wasn't evenly placed. Like it was like shifted more towards one side than it was the other. Like it wasn't like dead in the middle. So that was like but it's not horrible, it's not terrible. It's just I don't know, it just doesn't work 100% well as I would like for it to, because as everyone says, we love her, one of the top contenders for sure. But this one just didn't come all the way together.
Scores.
I would give this a respectable 55.
Okay.
Because it's not horrible, just not great.
I'm gonna give it a non-respectable 69.
Nice.
Please don't ever do that again.
Do it always.
I will leave.
Goodbye.
I don't need my parents acting like this.
I was like, goodbye.
Yeah, I'll give her a respectable 65.
It's going to be a 50.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Kero.
I didn't hate this.
This is Quinceañera. I don't care what you have to say.
It is very Quinceañera.
This is fashion, not fashion. This is cute.
It's Quinceañera. I'm not going to say it's gorgeous. I'm not going to say it's phenomenal, but I will say it's Quinceañera. She understood the assignment and she turned it in on time and gave us the extra bonus point because it was good. I liked it. It was Quinceañera. But what gets me is the hair wig on this one. I'm here for it. I'm loving it. I love the genie hair. I'm a sucker for genie hair. Like I love genie hair. For me, I just love it. I think she looks amazing. I think, sure, she could have did more with the top. Sure, it could have been, something else and extra something. But I felt like all the stuff at the bottom and then the sleeves made her keeping that top simple made sense with the big bottom and the sleeves. and then a little applique of the flowers. I liked it. I liked it.
Here's where I am with this. Like for me, I'll do a comparison. Like imagine you're making a cake and you're putting in all of the right ingredients, every single amount that you need. And then you're like, okay, I got everything good. Oh, here's a cucumber. Let me throw that in there. That's what this top is to me. It is ugly. To me, it looks like she took a t-shirt, cut off the sleeves, and was like, okay, let's make a dress around this t-shirt. If it was a different color, I might like. If it was pink, it might be better. But the way like that was such an eyesore for me. Everything else, I love the sleeves. I love the bottom part, the hair, even the accessories are great. It's just this part is such a weight down. It just does not fit.
Okay, Ross Matthews. Anyway.
I mean, I could actually see that. I could feel like the top could have been pink to match the dress to make it look like a full dress. This looks like a skirt in the top. And when it could be just, it could look like if it was pink, it would look like it's a full dress.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that to me. It's not that horrific where it's like, yeah, that's just ruining the whole outfit. It's just like for me, it's like, okay, it's just a two-tone dress. It's a top, bottom, two-tone dress. Still looks good. The belt in the middle cinches it up, makes it look like one dress. So I'm not that mad at it. But I understand what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. She should have been the top 3. I don't care. She should have been high. We'll talk about it later. This skirt and poofy arms, everything, the wig, everything. I will say the shirt does kind of look a little bit underwhelming. I feel like she should have done something different.
Keyword shirt.
Yeah, I feel like she should have done something different. I almost wish that she did the same color combination as the next queen,
Argennis.
Yes, I stuck with the pronunciation. I wish she did that with the purple. So I wish instead of the pink, I wish like everything was like, different shades of purple, but a cool tone of purple, not one super, super dark and one super, super light, like how our
Argennis.
Yes, thank you so much. Like how she did it, and I felt like that would have went better with the purple here and everything. But other than that, I feel like this was good.
I would like to remind everyone she made a 3-tiered skirt, and with
and it looks good.
It looks good.
I also want to say the cut of we'll call it a shirt. The cut of the shirt is a very classic cut for the top of a quinceañera dress. It is very classically cut in that way. Like a lot of dresses, at least to my knowledge. I'm born and raised in Arizona. For context, for people that think I might be crazy and out of my mind, I've been to quinceañeras. Like I'm not out of the realm of like not knowing what the hell this is. But the cut of the shirt was so perfectly done for me. Every single detail on this garment is absolutely perfect.
I mean, it's cut perfectly. It looks perfectly. It's tailored perfectly. I just wanted a different color. Like if it was pink,
a different shirt.
The reason I don't mind it is because it ties in them with the hair.
Right.
Because
and that's
the hair makes no sense.
Right. And that's why I'm not like harping on it or like saying it's the worst thing ever.
Like some people are.
Right. The purple dark hair, the purple in her hair goes with the purple in the shirt. And then it also goes with like the purple rough, like because it's a pink and purple-ish ruffle. So it kind of just gives me all the different kinds of purples. Sure, it's not as obvious as our next queen, but it's still there, and it's not horrible. I still like it. Scores. I will give this a 96 because I do like it, and I think the hair gives me so much life.
Yeah, I gave this a 51.
Okay.
I'll give her an 87.
Okay.
she did what needed to be done for me. The cup is overflowing.
Period.
And it is Quinceañera.
It's very Quinceañera. She understood
Very.
the assignment. She understood the assignment for sure.
She not only understood the assignment, she had studied the assignment. She knew what the assignment was going to be prior to the assignment getting assigned. And she submitted that assignment 2 days early.
And proofreaded it as well.
Okay.
That she didn't need to proofread because she got it right on the first time.
Okay.
All right. She just
Next
this is who
Argennis.
understood the assignment. This who understood the assignment, knew the assignment, brought the assignment 5 days before, told the professor to grade it, said it's not high enough, took it back, redid it again, gave him another one, got a higher score than she got before. How could you perfect perfection? That's what she did. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All the purples with the cups and the bowls, like she did what needed to be done. Her and even matched her with the balloons of the 15, matched her dress. She turned in her assignment 8 days early and got extra credit. And then passed them out to her friends because she ain't need all of it. Just saying.
Yeah, she did a great job. She did that. She did. She used the cups perfectly. It wasn't oversaturated. The fact that she thought to put the cups towards the edge of the dress, I would have never thought of that. And I feel like she did it very, very well. The purples and the silver just complement each other so well. She did a great job with this, definitely.
She did a good job. Where I was confused, though, and I thought I was very surprised she was not safe, is because, like I pointed out at the beginning, I was expecting the challenge to be couture versions of quinceañera dresses. And for me, this was spot on quinceañera dress. So I thought they would say this was too obvious. And I mean, I didn't even think she'd be able to get critiques because it was too on the nose. But it is good at being a quinceañera dress, which I personally don't have much attraction to. So, but she did good.
I was very impressed with what Argennis did on this. It goes so perfectly together. I think it's a very well constructed garment. I just think like the difficulty here is are you going for couture or are you going for quinceañera?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like it's an unclear challenge, and so I think based on the way that you're looking at it, I understand one critique over the other. For me, this was perfectly done. It was unconventional, done in the best way. She did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Scores?
Overflowing. Please, no doubt. I can't. Couldn't give anything else after all that praise I just gave you.
I'm gonna give it a 61.
I'm gonna give her a 90.
The cup is full.
Period. The top is right.
You said Matraka was better than this?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely not. Respectfully.
God,
no.
Oh God, no.
No.
Wait.
Bye.
Oh God,
No.
no. Oh
Bye.
God.
Bye.
Oh God.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of The Cup. We'll be back next week.
No.
No.
I love this. This is so
Stop.
I'm about to say we can't
No,
even lie.
Yeah, you're not coming back.
We can't even lie and
it is
say
not
this
true.
is good.
No.
Oh God.
I
I
would have
instantly
banned you
said
so quick.
You're cancelled.
I instantly said gum wrapper with gum in it.
That's generous.
Yeah.
It's
That's
just
generous and slightly disrespectful to gum.
Oh,
And I love Miss Vallarta. I want to make it very clear. I think she is fabulous. I think she is a wonderful entertainer. I think she is absolutely fantastic. This is one of the worst things to ever be on Drag Race.
Here's the deal. Here's what I feel, and I can't go by history on how the worst in Drag Race history, but I'll say this: her immaturity is showing in drag in this outfit. She is not very mature in drag. She's only been doing drag for a very short period of time, And the fact that this is what we get from it makes sense. And she needs to be more polished. Needs to be more. She just needs more growth. I feel like she can come back in a few years, get that glow up, show your style. Because I know she can. She has it in her. She just needs more time to mature as a drag artist and show what she could do. She's just not ready. She was not ready for this competition, and this outfit and her last runway is showing that she was not ready for this competition. And it's no shade to her. It's more shade to the people who put her on this show when they knew she wasn't ready. And I feel like they put her on here so we can have her early out. And I hate that for her. I hate that for her because she does not deserve that kind of treatment. She does not deserve to be judged so harshly because of this. So I am not, as much as I don't like this outfit, and yeah, I gave it the chops. I did. That was my initial. But now, on all serious notes, this woman does not deserve that. And she wasn't ready for this competition, and they knew she wasn't ready for this competition, and they brought her on there anyway, just so she can go through this. I pray and I hope that in a few years, she grows in her drag, she becomes so great, and she can come back on this show and show everybody what she can really do, because I do believe she has it in her. It just wasn't there yet. So that's how I feel about her. She's amazing, and she's so funny and so sweet, and I think she has it in her. It's just not there yet, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't want to beat a dead horse with this one. Like, I feel bad. She probably is mortified by her run on Drag Race. She should not be, because, like I said, I really liked her look last week. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say about it. It just didn't work.
Every time you said that she wasn't ready for this competition, I'm just reminded of when you said it about Monica during our All-Stars coverage.
And she was not. And the fact still remains she was not ready. Even her claim to fame, whatever the fame game look, shows that she was not ready. Okay, I'm sorry.
The first thing that sticks out to me is the choice of the color. I don't think she should have painted her face this color. And then the fact that I feel like she's wearing a long sleeve, probably like white something. And then her face being purple, and then everything else just being white. And then she put the garment she made over that. That just wasn't a great choice. The outfit itself, the color of it is fine, but it's just that there's no detail, like there's no clear construction. It's just kind of, like just there. Yeah, it's kind of just there.
No shape at all.
Yeah.
Scores.
I can't score it because it's not. Yeah, I can't score it. I plead on this one, unfortunately. She just wasn't ready.
In hindsight, this is probably a generous score, but I'm feeling generous, I guess. I gave her a 30.
Yes, I'm gonna have to plead. Yeah, definitely.
I'm also gonna have to plead, but I adore her and I think she's lovely.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she just wasn't ready for this. But I'm sure she'll be ready in a few more years, honestly.
Yeah. She's so funny.
She's so funny. She's so funny. It's more in her.
Let's talk about Pixie Pixie.
The goth Quinceañera. I wasn't mad at the goth Quinceañera, but I wanted. It's something that's missing. It's something less I want happening. It's too much in the middle, in the center of this dress going on. And I don't hate it, but I don't love it, which is unfortunate because I love Pixie Pixie. I love Pixie Pixie. I just feel like the concept is nice. Like, sure, give us something different, not regular quinceañera, but an emo quinceañera. Sure. It's just, I feel like it's too much happening in this front part. and then all of this behind it, the hair, it's a bit much. But her makeup, as always, is flawless. She looks great in the face, but it's just a little too much with the dress.
She looks like a floating head surrounded by a bevy of black materials.
Mm.
And I don't like that, unfortunately. Again, I will also say, based on the quality of this runway on a whole, she was deservedly safe.
I disagree.
I mean, amongst the ones who yeah, she was supposed to
For
be
me, she
safe.
should have been in the top.
In the top?
Yes.
No, she was safe. Mm-mm.
Wrong choice.
Thinking,
I guess I was just going for more fashion than Quinceañera.
What is fashion about this?
It looked so good walking down the runway.
it did look better walking down the runway than it does on this picture. I will say that. I can agree with that.
For me, it was my favorite of the night.
I won't say that, but I will say walking down the runway, it didn't look this busy. In this picture, it's giving me way too busy.
Yeah, I guess I liked when the queens took Quinceañera and just stuck their middle finger at it, and they did their own twist on it. And I thought this was super creative. It's the way she managed to get such a black look when we saw all of those materials, and there was scarcely a black item to be found. So I think she really made it work.
I'm about to say, what did she use though? That's what I want to know because
I don't know. She must have painted it.
It's all spray painted.
Oh, well, then that even makes it even better because that means she put the work in.
David, I love you so much, and I mean this question with the most respect in the world. Did we watch the same episode?
I don't think we did.
I mean, well, that doesn't sound like it has any respect to it, but yes, we did.
No, and I do mean it that way. It's just like normally our opinions don't differ this much. That's where
I'm happy to have different opinions. So.
I am too. It's just like, and I do mean that with all the respect in the world. You know, I love you dearly, but like, there is nothing fashionable about this to me.
For me, I think Quinceañera is something that has zero appeal to me. So the more it looks like Quinceañera, the less I'm gonna like it probably.
But that's all it comes down to. Like that doesn't make. I get your opinion. Your opinion is very valid, but then why have a category?
Right, and I thought it was a bad category for one, but I was stuck on the word couture, so I wanted to see somebody do something unique and interesting.
I mean, I don't think it's fair for us to say I don't like the category, therefore I'm judging it differently than anything else because Quinceañera is something very cultural, and just because we don't like it or understand it doesn't mean it's not relevant and we shouldn't respect it.
Fair.
And so I feel like to say I don't like Quinceañera looks is unfair to people who has quinceañeras and enjoy that in their culture because we don't understand it.
I get that, but it doesn't appeal to me as an almost 40-year-old adult.
I mean, it doesn't appeal to me as a 44-year-old woman, but I do respect that 15-year-old girls look forward to this day for most of their lives when they're in their culture.
My scale is always the same. Like if I'm giving you a 100, that is me telling you that you are as good as the single best look I've ever seen on Drag Race. That's why I don't give out 100s, because I don't see anybody that's at that level.
Okay.
I've seen it a couple of times. Same with zeros. I never give zeros because I'm saying you are the worst look I've ever seen on Drag Race. And none of these to me have been the worst look. So that's why they're all kind of scrunched in the middle. And to me, this appeals to me. It's closer to being on the high end than a lot of these other looks that you all loved and that the judges loved. So
I mean, it's higher to me than some of the others, but it's not. I don't think it's. It's definitely not their best look. It's definitely not Pixie's best look that I've seen.
No,
but it's definitely better than some of the looks that we've seen thus far, for sure.
Her idea to do this goth vibe is very creative, but unfortunately, I don't think it's done 100%. It's not 100%. Yeah,
I don't find it that creative for Pixie Pixie. I mean, we know what her aesthetic is. This feels very, very like this is exactly what I expected Pixie to do.
Okay.
I would have
I can see
loved to
that.
see her just lean into the category and lean into the challenge more. And for me personally, this feels like she took the easy road. There's a lot of work, obviously, that went into this because none of those materials were black. But this feels like an easy way out for the challenge for me personally.
I mean, I get what you're saying because this is Pixie's aesthetic, and this is what we are used to seeing from Pixie. We expect to see Pixie in black and expect to see her like this. But to flip the script and play devil's advocate, I want Pixie to be Pixie. I don't want Pixie to come out and drag that is so unrecognizable that we don't know that it's Pixie. Pixie has a very clear brand, and so we expect Pixie to be her brand. And I don't want her to be somebody else's brand just because they give a theme of Quinceañera. She can still do Quinceañera, but do Quinceañera how Pixie would do Quinceañera. And that's what I think she did. This goth Quinceañera may not be creative and say it's out of the brand of Pixie Pixie, but why does it have to be? I will, because if you're having your own Quinceañera, you want your Quinceañera to fit you and who you are and what you like. And so I wouldn't expect you to come out and give me lumberjack butch Quinceañera because that's not who you are. I want my Logan to be as flamboyant and fun and, you know, as gay as he want to be. That's who I want the Quinceañera to be. You won't come to my Quinceañera and see me being just out there and I'm gonna have my diva moment because that's my Quinceañera. And I feel like Pixie Pixie is saying this is what I would do for my Quinceañera. I will be goth, I will be emo, I will be in all black, and everybody respect that.
And I definitely see all of the points that were made, especially like David, I understand and respect your opinion for sure. I see it differently.
That's fair.
And that's why I love having all of these differing opinions because we are still not used to it. I'm really not used to it.
We're getting there.
Used to coming in here and scrapping every week.
Yeah.
I'm not, but we're getting there.
Scores.
I still like it. I would give it a 65 because I still like it. Did you say something, David?
It cut out for me.
Oh, 75.
Okay, I'm gonna say cut out for me too.
Yep.
Sorry. Not me. You're going higher than me. What? Oh no, I'm just playing.
He liked the look, and I respect that.
I respect it because I thought. Oh, go ahead, Mr. Challenge. I'm jumping all over you.
Now you're fine. It's a 55.
I'm gonna give it a 40.
Yeah.
Not my thing. Oh boy. Vermelha Noir.
I feel like this is going to be another fight.
And I'm ready to fight.
Me too.
I also.
Actually,
you know what? No, David, let's take a break this round. Let's let Lana and Mr. Talent fight instead.
What if they agree with each other?
We might agree with each other. You
I feel like you and I would probably fight more on this one than them.
100%.
I like this look. Honestly, I'm not mad at it at all. I like the creativeness with having a table in front of her, even though they tried to dog her out about this table and it's the problem. It probably looks like it's unfinished. And then when she moved the table, it wasn't unfinished. She did finish it. I liked it because it was like, look, they gave her the materials all those god awful colors and those tablecloths and cups or whatever, and she did what Vermelha does and made headpieces and big. That's what she does. That's what we see, and I'm like, I feel the same way about her as I do about Pixie. I don't want her to change and be somebody else on the runway because of a theme. Do the theme, but do you. And she did the theme and did her. The dress itself is a Quinceañera dress. It's a Quinceañera dress. She just added a prop. Did she need the prop? No. She probably could have did without the prop and it would have been fine still. But it's still it's her. Does she look sad all the time? Yeah, because that's who she is. It's just a little, and I'm not mad at the. Her makeup is always right. I'm never mad at the. I'm never mad at that because that's just her thing, and I'm not mad at her thing. I like her makeup. Maybe I just like her. Maybe it's my bias showing because I just like her and I'm rooting for her and I want so much for her that I wasn't that mad at this look. And so, yeah, fight me on it. I don't care.
You're wrong. No, I'm kidding.
Sure.
No, I
Your
respect
opinion.
your opinion. I think that having the table was a really smart gag. I wish she had had the table and just thrown the table away instead of using the table on the entire runway.
Mm-hmm.
That was my big issue with it because
Mm-hmm.
by using it the entire time, it did feel as though she was using it
To
to
hide
hide
something.
the fact
Mm-hmm.
that the
We've
construction
seen
of the
that
front of
done
that
before.
garment was not good.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We have, yeah. For me, it just comes down to I think this was poorly constructed. And I don't understand. So when the table is revealed, there's this like long middle panel that is seemingly over the like magenta fabric that makes up the bulk of the dress. And I don't get that. I don't think it's necessary. I don't know why it's there. And then the entire top part, it loses all shape, and she kind of just looks like this clunky, like Russian nesting doll walking down the runway. So for me, it didn't all come together for me. I love her, and I think she's wonderful. It comes down to construction for me, but I do think the concept was fun, and I like the idea of having the quinceañera table. I just would have thrown it away at some point.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Like, I also thought, oh, what is she hiding?
Thank God we agree.
But once I did see it, I was like, it's really not that bad. It's okay. For me, this was pretty much the definition of safe. So I did not think she deserved to be in the bottom three personally. But yeah, it was fine. I want more from her though,
Mm-hmm.
because I love her.
I think. I'm sorry. I think my main thing with her look this evening is that she could do a little bit less. I feel like she tries to do a lot, which a lot can be good when it's done correctly. But I feel like with this, it's a lot and it didn't have to be. The table is cute, but I agree with you, Logan, have it and throw it away. Then when she revealed it, it was just, it just didn't look right all the way. I feel like the choice of colors, I feel like it's a lot of pink, which I'm not mad at, but it just didn't look good to me. It just didn't look good to me.
I was gonna say like doing a lot but making it look good. I would look exactly to her entrance look. Her entrance look was a lot, but for me, very well put together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But yeah, scores for Vermelha.
I'm going to give her a sensible 69. Period.
Solid.
Nice. I gave her a 50.
Solid.
I'll give her a 40.
I match that 40.
Not so solid. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not so solid.
I'm just kidding. Solid.
This
It was
next one
solid.
won't be so solid either.
It was solid. It was solid.
This next one won't be so solid either.
Oh, Cristian Peralta.
I was not a fan of this look at all. And they were raving and liking it. And I was like, oh.
In the top,
Top?
No.
we are.
In the top? Weird.
We are.
Weird to be in the top. Like, I did not see top for
Watch,
this.
David loves this.
I mean, it was sensibly safe for me, but not top. maybe
Not
even bottom.
Not
Honestly,
even safe.
I don't even think.
Oh.
I don't know
thing
about.
is, it's,
Maybe low safe. Like she should have been the last one in the safe
yeah,
department. Like this
Mm,
was.
yeah,
This was not giving me what I wanted to give. It's not giving couture. It's not giving Quinceañera. You're not
Quinceañera.
giving any part of the category, however you want to judge it. Because some of us judge it on couture, some of us judge it on Quinceañera. This was neither. This was just a party dress, and there
This
were
is the
many
slutty 18-year-old friend of the girl who's having the
having the Quinceañera who was trying to upstage the girl, like
Yep.
looking like a pick me girl. That's what
It really does.
it's really giving me pick me girl. It's so. Yeah.
I want to start with the positives. I love her makeup.
Makeup's great. Hair is
Makeup's great.
cute. I mean, I wish it
Legs.
was.
Legs look great.
Legs.
I would have gave.
Arms, nails. That's it.
Yeah. And I picked you, girl. I just didn't like this.
I think you rightly picked her. I just think
I
unfortunately,
mean, rightly did, but this
construction
one
is
was
not
just
her. Is not her forte.
Yeah, it's just something about it. It's just something about it that's just not hitting it on none of the cylinders for me. It's not like the worst. I'm not like I will give a score for this one, but it's just
Yeah, I think this is fine. Like, you can see there's some good construction to it. It just is kind of boring to me.
Yeah. Mr. Talented, you have a word or
Yeah, everything is already said. Like, it's quinceañera wear, like top wear, like. I feel like even Vermelha, she did try to make it quinceañera, and she did achieve that. This it just felt like she didn't really try at all. Yeah, this is very underwhelming. I was surprised at how much they loved it. Like when they called her, I was like, okay, bottom two, and then they were like, hi. I was like, what?
It was not.
It's kind of the same thing at last week. They just harped on like one thing and just like praised it a lot. But
That's kind of where now I'm a little worried. I'm a little bit more worried about the
yeah, I'm
judging
like,
after this week. I think the judging
yeah,
overall was good and correct. I think there were a couple of choices, and I think it's going to be. I'm curious whether we're going to continue to see this specifically with Cristian, and whether the favoritism continues. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I don't want it at all.
I like her a lot too, and I think like obviously her win last week I think was deserved. I would have given it to someone else, but I wasn't mad at her winning.
I wasn't mad. I would have given it somewhere else because I feel like the overall the first part looked like a poop emoji, and then it wasn't for the reveal. She wouldn't have. I don't feel she should have won, and I feel like the overall look didn't say win. I feel like somebody else should have won, but she was deservingly in the top because the reveal was nice. But yeah, this gets a 20 because only maybe 20% of her body is covered, and I need the rest of the dress.
I gave it a 53.
I kind of want to plead.
Oh.
But then I'm like, I didn't plead for Serena. But this does look, it is constructed better than how Serena's look, but it is completely underwhelming. I'm going to give her a 35.
I think she took about 30% of the time allotted to her to make this garment. Therefore, she's going to get a 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Regina Voce. I have to be really honest and vulnerable on the pod right now. I absolutely love this look. And I understand why people don't. And I will probably be in the minority for this opinion. But I think this is so stupid and fun. It's probably because she just sold it in the best possible way, but it's giving 80s quinceañera, and I'm honestly kind of obsessed with it. I don't think she should have won by any means. I don't think she should have been in the top by any means of the imagination, but I do still think this is stupid and fun, and I kind of love it.
Can I be honest? I forgot this look.
There.
I can see it.
forgot it until you just put it up. I'm like, what? Where did this come from? Like, who took this picture? But okay. I mean, she's okay. I remember now. She's still it. I remember on the runway and she was like 80s. I still don't like it, but yeah. I think I think your tinsel, David, is running to me because like I don't like this tinsel dress at all. I feel like it's too much tinsel. It's just way too much tinsel. But I do like the top of the dress. I don't like the bottom of the dress, and that's what's throwing me off.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head for me. I agree with that.
It's your tinsel talk that got me. I was
Mhm.
like, I see, I understand why you don't like the tinsel dress because
Right.
this is not giving. Mr. Talented, what do you think?
I love the skirt part. I don't have a problem with the skirt part. I just have a problem with the top half.
Oh,
Like
not
I
the
feel,
opposites.
yeah, I feel like the skirt part is kind of creative. I love how it is like that, the copper and the silver color. I kind of like it. The top half for me just throws it completely off. The pink with the purple and then the copper and the silver. I don't like it. I feel like she just should have went for probably one solid color and just call it a day.
Mm.
But yeah,
I mean, I will give one positive thing about the skirt for me. I'm glad that it's not straight tinsel, just like straight down, like it was on
yes,
hanging up. That she did
yeah,
some kind of manipulation to it, so it looks layered and stuff.
yeah,
That's the good positive thing I can say about the skirt. I
yeah.
still think it's too much tinsel because she could have just wrapped it
Mhm.
around like a hula skirt and had the tinsel just laying flat and against the fabric or whatever. But she manipulated a little bit and layered it. So I will say that's a good pattern like deal, but it's still too much tinsel.
Yeah, it's almost like when you get a gift and then you take it out of a bag that has a ton of tinsel and
Yes,
a bunch of strands are like stuck around the top.
yes,
That's
and
almost
it's
what
just
I'm getting
it's
from the top.
was yeah, but it's still it's I like the top of this dress more than I
Mhm.
like the bottom.
Of course.
Scores, I would give this a sensible 50 because I think it's not horrible, but it's just not great.
I gave it a 45.
I'll give it a 40.
I'm gonna give her a sensible 74.
Lovely.
And last up, Margaret Y Ya.
I bet this might be the one that we're collectively the most positive on.
So
I think I agree.
I think so.
No,
Oh,
No.
this is terrible. Like this was she should have been safe. Like this, I'm playing a
Oh my
I was
god.
like,
I
what?
was so confused. I was
I
like,
was
I
like, are
can't
you
take
not
this
okay?
anymore. I just need one.
I was
Bitch.
about
We
to be
just
like,
need
wait a
one that we
minute.
can.
I'm about to say, are we watching the same
Bitch.
show right now? My God, I really think we are watching
Are we
different
watching the same
shows.
show?
Because I'm like, wait a minute.
No.
No,
not
this
kidding.
one actually was one of my favorite looks from the whole thing. I was like, she did that with the different ruffle colors at the bottom and then the pink at the top, and then her gloves matched the middle gold and the heart. I thought this was an adorable quinceañera look. I thought it was couture quinceañera. I think she hit and understood the assignment. I think she did the assignment better than who I said was great in the purple because Argennis did a great. I loved it. Y'all know how I love this, but I love this too. And I feel like she hit all of the assignments. When I said she gave hers 8 days in advance, she gave hers 2 weeks in advance. Did it again, passed out her extra credit, got more extra credit, kept all for herself, and then slept with the professor to get a super duper A. Because like this was everything.
That
this
feels like Margaret Y Ya too.
Yeah, this was super duper good. I loved the heart. I loved her makeup. This
Come
was the
on.
Margaret that I wanted to see from her Instagram pictures. I wanted this Margaret, and she gave it to me 10, 10, 10 across the board, honey. Like, yes, she did what needed to be done.
Period.
Yeah, like you said, I think she really hit the intersectionality of couture meets quinceañera. She probably did it the best. In fact, I'll just change my score, and I did have Pixie the highest, but I bumped her up a few more points. This is going to be my highest of the night. I'll tell you my score in a little
Correct.
And it'll be correct. It will be correct.
Yeah, this was everything. The makeup, come on for the makeup. Come on for the makeup. The construction of the garment is just draping down so perfectly. Like the colors, it's not too much. She didn't try to put a out of the box color. She kept the colors complementary. I love it. The wig is not too much. Love it. I love even the little accessory that she made. That was cute as well. Yeah, I kind of thought she should have won.
I know.
But I can
shocked she didn't.
understand. I can understand our
Argennis.
Argennis.
I'm gonna need a Spanish class on the
Okay. Here's the easiest thing that needs G. Pronounce it as an H.
Yes.
That's all you need.
Yeah, the G throws me off. So Argennis.
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 Correct.
Okay.
I think. I hope.
We could be all wrong. Who knows?
I'm going off of the way that she says her name, as well as the way that Valentina and Lolita say her name.
Yes,
and it all is Argennis. So that is Argennis. That's anyway. We're talking about Margaret Y Ya. The fact that Margaret did not win this challenge makes it very clear to me that the judges do not care about Margaret, and that upsets me.
That blows my mind.
They don't care about a lot of them. Well, a couple of them.
I'm getting nervous.
I am too.
Very nervous for Margaret.
I am too, because I'm like, this deserved. I'm sure Argennis was good, and she should have been in the top. She should have been where she was second, because this gave everything you asked for in this garment. You said you wanted Quinceañera couture. This is Quinceañera couture.
She did exactly what you told her to do last week.
And you said it.
And that's still not enough.
Because you said it. Like they said it themselves. Like you listened to us and you came back and did what we asked of you. And it's still not enough to get the win. What do you want from her? What do you want from her?
She is giving top 3, cut right before the finale, 0 wins, 3 times in the bottom. That's what it's giving. I don't know that to be her track record. I don't want that to be her track record, but that's what it's giving based off of 2 episodes.
Yeah, I'm nervous for this season moving forward as it pertains to the judging. I feel like this season could be such a great season. The cast is so much fun. The looks, for the most part, have been good. Great confessionals, great challenges, but it's like that you get to the end of the episode and the judging and the lip sync, and it's like,
it's like,
yes,
literally.
Well, okay. Yeah, but
scores
overflowing. I can't. There's nothing to be said about this look.
Yep, this is a 79 for me.
I'm gonna give her a 97. I like it a lot. I do.
She did what needed to be done. Overflowing.
Period.
Well, as we've talked about extensively already, Margaret does not win the challenge. Our top 3, we have Cristian, Argennis, and Margaret. I think Argennis was rightfully in the top. I think Margaret was rightly in the top. Who would we have put in the top 3?
David would have been Pixie Pixie, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Probably not worth saying.
Sure.
No,
go
say it, darling. It's your opinion.
I mean, I liked Pixie and Matraka.
Great.
So you would have
Oh,
took
and
out
Margaret. Yep.
So you would have cut out Christian and Argennis.
Yes.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
What would you,
Lana?
Mr. Talented? Oh, okay.
For me, take Christian out. The other two perfectly there. The other option, none other than Lady Kero.
Same.
That's what I would have said.
Yeah.
Lady Kero.
Lady Kero deserved another spot in the top. And
Yeah, she should have great.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, was this to spread around high placements? But Christian's been in the top twice, so anyway, our winner. I'm happy for Argennis. I was not expecting her to be someone with a challenge win, so I'm happy for her.
Should have been Margaret.
But Margaret, and that's it.
All right, at least you get points.
Margaret.
Should have been Margaret though, but okay.
Well, none of y'all got the joke that I just made. Okay.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
None of them got it.
No, none of them got it.
I didn't even hear it.
So her name literally translates to Margaret, and that's it.
Then that's it. Yeah.
And so I was like, Margaret, and that's it.
Oh, period.
Anyway,
and I would agree with you.
It's not funny anymore. It's fine. Bottom three.
I didn't think it was a joke. I just thought it was the facts. Margaret,
well,
and that's it.
But it's also, try to be funny, okay? It's really difficult to be funny all the time.
You're not a comedy queen, dear. You're a fashion queen.
No, I'm a comedy queen, darling.
Look, that was the joke.
Oh, anyway. I'm slightly Bottom three, Vermelha, Miss Vallarta, Serena Morena.
I wouldn't have put Vermelha in there.
I wouldn't have either, and I would have put Christian in the bottom.
I would have had Gala in the bottom.
Okay.
I would have had yeah, probably Gala. Yeah. Wait. No. Christian. And that
Thank
little
you.
mini Christian would have been
Nar.
I just thought about it.
We're all leaning into Drag Race Down Under is only a month away, and we're all already leaning into our accent.
Yeah, for me as well. Take out Vermelha and Christian.
For sure, because that little bit.
Where you going in that party?
Where you going in that? Well, who Quinceañera you finna be at? You the pick me girl at the Quinceañera,
her younger sisters.
Her younger sisters.
She's 21, and it's her younger sister's Quinceañera.
And she want to be like, look at me, boys.
Anyway, I do think, unfortunately, we can all agree that our bottom two was Miss Vallarta and Serena Morena. Maybe except for David. I don't know.
I think they make sense. I might have had Gala down there, but I'm perfectly fine with this.
Yeah. They lip sync to Mírala, Míralo by Alejandra Guzman. This was fine.
It was a big step up from last week.
It was a big step up from the first lip sync of the season.
Can we first talk about Miss Vallarta? Can I talk about Miss Vallarta first? But go ahead, David. We'll talk about
No, that's what I was going to say. When Miss Vallarta started walking off, I'm like,
I was
Lemon. At first, I thought it was a gag, and then it showed her confessional of her saying, I'm not doing this. And that's when I'm like, oh my God, she's quitting.
She shouldn't have. She should have just walked off.
No,
I don't think she did that bad. I don't
think it was good.
I think she redeemed herself.
I think she redeemed herself from last time because she definitely knew the words and she was prepared for this one.
Animated.
And I just thought when she walked off, I was like, is she leaving? I wouldn't have been so mad if she did.
Oh, I wouldn't have been mad at it
because I would have been like, number one, they're putting you back in the bottom again, right. Although you deserved it because your outfit this week was horrible. It wasn't good. But I just feel like once you get to that point when you just know, like, I know I'm going home and I need to make a big splash before I leave here. Walking off that stage would have made the so memorable. I would have been talking about Miss Vallarta for the rest of my days. Like,
I would have been like Vallarta just to see Miss Vallarta to tell her how iconic it
I'm like
that's
that was
right.
so iconic. Like since my drag race is references are so limited, she would be that one that stuck in my head for a long time. I'd be like, remember when Miss Vallarta walked off the stage during the lip sync and was like, peace? Like that would be me. I thought it would have been iconic. But the fact that she came back also made me laugh and also got me like, oh, okay, girl, I see you. So I still kind of think she gonna bring one of my references for a minute, but I thought it was cool. I thought her lip sync was okay. It wasn't fantastic. It wasn't the best, but it was definitely better than last week. And she remembered the words. She was animated. She did perform. Serena was just as good. I feel like they were both okay. I don't feel like Serena did anything that was super spectacular either. It was okay. It was an all right lip sync. I've
Yeah.
seen better, and I have not seen that many lip syncs. So
You've seen
step it
better
up,
and you've seen
Mexico.
worse.
Like step it up, Mexico,
I
because
mean-
y'all lip syncs aren't giving me what I want them to give yet.
What's interesting though is like when you watch as many different countries' drag races as we do, you see there are some countries that really focus on lip syncs,
Yes.
and other countries that's just not part of their culture. So
That's
I
fine.
don't know about Mexico yet. I don't know how much lip syncing is part of their culture.
I
Please
don't
let us
think it
know
is.
in the comments. But so far, we haven't gotten anything stellar.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
haven't
only 2
seen it.
episodes.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it being as like I said, stellar. It hasn't been that great, but hopefully maybe it'll get better and we'll see more.
Yep. I just was really rooting hard for Serena that whole
Me
lip sync. Because I'm
too.
like, I love you and I need to see more.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with everything you guys said. The range of emotions I went through when I saw Margaret did what she. Oh,
Vallarta.
Don't talk
please
about Margaret
forgive me.
like that.
Please forgive me. Miss Villard.
Vallarta.
Double
Vallarta.
L's is a Y sound.
Yeah, it's so
By the end of
weird.
this season of Drag Race, Mr. Talented will be fluent in Spanish.
Miss Vallarta. Yeah, when I saw her do what she did, I was like, because she walked to the back and then she stopped and she did her little wave. Because
It
at
was
first
a
when she
full
was
shitty
walking to the
lemon, and I
back,
was like, oh my god.
yeah, I thought she was gonna do that because she walked to the back. I was like, oh, she's gonna leave. Wow. And then she stopped and she did her little hand thing. I was like, okay. And then she walked off. I was like, oh hell no. Like, is this gonna be the season where almost every lip sync something gaggy happens, like season 9?
Uh-huh.
Like, this was insane. Yeah, the lip sync, it was fine. It was a step up from last week. It was fine. Considering that
Vermelha Noir.
yeah, that she was in the bottom, a part of me was like, I hope they're the bottom two
A
again.
do-over.
No, I truly would have just loved. I truly
If
would
they
have
were the
loved
bottom
if
two
Vermelha and Miss
again.
Vallarta had been in the bottom again together.
I would have been like
I was
Gala
expecting
set
it.
us
When they
up.
put her in the bottom 3, I was like, are they about to save Serena Morena right now? Like,
Put
I
the
would have.
two of them again.
I would not have been mad about it, honestly, in the slightest.
I would have been so mad about it because it was not deserved if they would have
It was
did that
not
to her.
deserved,
It
but it
was
would have
not
been such a
deserved.
gag.
I don't.
Yeah.
I see y'all care about the gags way
I
too
do.
much for me. I am not a fan of the gags when it's somebody who I
I'm a
want
fan
to
of-
be there.
I'm a fan of the
Right.
gags when the gags are necessary and good.
This
When it's a
that
gag
would have
for
been a good
gag's sake,
necessary.
I'm like, no.
This would
Yeah,
not have
like
been a
the
good
Joey
gag
twist.
because
Like the Joey twist.
yeah,
Fair.
this would not have been a good gag because it would have been like sure cute, but that's putting Vermelha in a spot where she didn't deserve to be there. So
Right.
that's like you gagging just to be gagging when somebody didn't
Mhm.
deserve to be there.
That's not a
So-
gag. That's a shenanigan.
Right, that's shenanigans. That's foolery. That's
Stunts and
tomfoolery.
shenanigans.
That is tomfoolery, and I'm not here for the tomfoolery, people.
Unfortunately, though, our pork chop of Drag Race Mexico
Mexico.
is Miss Vallarta.
Mm.
I
If
like
you are
her.
in Puerto Vallarta and she is also there and not touring the whole country, which I hope she is doing, go show her some love. Go tip her. Go tip the local queens. All of it.
Heartbreak for
Yeah.
you, Miss. Because I think she's probably really good at what she does.
And I think
just
she
needs
would
more
have
time.
excelled in next week's challenge, and I'm kind of mad about it.
Probably.
Yeah, we probably would have got a good talent from this.
They are doing
not-
much hype over next week's episode. I'm like, okay, it better be a good episode then. They started promoting the guest judge and the episode. I think so. The episode dropped at like 2 a.m. Eastern on Thursday. They started promoting episode 3 at like 11 a.m. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Okay. Y'all are excited about the next episode. Noted. Understood. I see it. So I'm expecting a good episode. Am I going to be disappointed? Probably.
Don't say that.
Don't say that. We're going to speak positive.
No, I'm going to be like,
good.
yay! Oh.
Yeah.
I would rather speak positively now, and then if it's not so good, be like,
Speak it into existence.
Right, I'll speak it into existence. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have a great.
It's the growing
lip-sync.
pains of a season 1.
Yes, it's
Pixie or Matraka is going to get a win.
Or Margaret.
Or
Margaret.
Vermelha, or
I
Pixie
think
Pixie.
Margaret is primed to win this challenge.
I feel.
I hope.
Giving me top 4 energy for sure.
Like I said, she's giving me top 3, cut before the finale lip sync, 0 wins, 3 bottoms. Like that's what it's giving for me, unfortunately. I don't want that.
Wait,
but
what's next week?
it's a comedy sketch of some kind. It wasn't really explained because all we saw was in the trailer in the episode, at least, all we saw was judges' critique and the mini challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But we know they said it was a sketch at some point, and then all the promotion on Instagram. It looks like it's a parody of, not a parody of, but like a similar concept to the US Drag Race season 3, the exercise comedy challenge.
Oh, yeah.
There was like one shot of, I think it was Gala with like a shake weight or something. I could be very wrong, but that's kind of what it looked like.
No, that's not from that.
No.
I don't know. All I know
Anyway.
is I feel now I'm nervous for like Vermelha and even Pixie, because I don't know if they're comedy. They have comedic timing like that. Not
We shall
sure.
see.
We shall see.
But
I'm a little
We
nervous.
shall see.
thank you for joining us for, thankfully, a shorter episode of Drag Race.
We're proud of ourselves.
We did it, guys. We did it, Joe.
Not today. I'm not saying that today. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure
we didn't do 2 hours, so we did it, Joe.
we didn't. But, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Cut Pod for all of the funniest moments of our podcast. But make sure to watch the whole thing too. You're on YouTube, so do the YouTube things because you're on YouTube. You know how to do them, so do them. Get your merch, link below. Follow all of us on Twitter because we're kind of cool. Cheers.
Cheers. Hasta luego.
Adios.
Bye.
Goodbye now.
Oh, muchas gracias for watching.
Bye.